Keep watching for this week's competition. We've got a fantastic prize to give away, a powerful Pentium PC. And our main review is Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. Will it live up to the hype?
And now be discovering new ways to explore other planets.
We love pinball on Bad Influence. If there's ever a break in rehearsals, ooh, this is where you'll find me. Mind you, not everybody can afford an arcade table like this one. This is the Flintstones, and it costs nearly £3,000. Pinball tables weren't always this big or this expensive. They're ready to take over? Go! This was what the original pinball tables used to look like. They're called bagatelles. Why do we call the game pinball? Well, look, the table is peppered with pins, and you score points by bagging the ball in the pockets, or not.
Computer pinball games are notoriously difficult to program because the movement of the ball around the table is so unpredictable. We've managed to track down one of the first, Pinball Wizard on the Spectrum. And this computer is so old that we can't even get sound off it. And the game, it has to be said, is rather slow. But the first one to really get it right was Revenge of the Gator on the Game Boy. When it came out 4 years ago, it impressed everyone with its secret rooms and cartoon characters that popped up on the tables.
One of the most popular console pinball games is also my favourite. This is Dragon's Fury on the Mega Drive. It was originally released in Japan 3 years ago on the PC Engine, and then it was called Jackie Crush, and it's still wowing players today, especially Jamie, who's doing really well. And some classic pinball games are being released on other formats. This is Pinball Dreams, soon to be seen on the PC CD-ROM. It has the 4 tables from the original Amiga version, plus 4 brand new ones, and a history of pinball crammed onto a single silver disc.
And pinball games are going from strength to strength. This is a brand new one, Psycho Pinball on the Mega Drive. It's got 4 themed tables, including a huge Psycho one, which is made up of sub-games and small video games.
But for real simulation fans, Pinball Illusions on the A1200 has to be the most realistic pinball game ever. It's got 3 play fields, loads of extra features, and a unique switch that lets you see the whole table at the same time. You have to have a ball in play at the time, so hang on a second. There you go. There's even a multi-ball reward that kicks into high resolution so that you can see where all the balls are at the same time. But are these pinball games a substitute for the real thing? No! Violet, but it's my go now. It is. You said it was my go. Come on then, we'll just be quick.
Oh, yes. Oh, very good. Furtlers. Only 32 shopping days to Christmas, but I'm not panicking because I've already ordered exciting presents for my many friends from this great catalogue. I'm expecting a delivery any second. Oh, well, while I'm waiting, here's a great cheat for rock and roll racing on the SNES that lets you play with a brand new secret character. On the Select Hero screen, hold down L, R and Select, then scroll through the characters in the normal way until you come to the brand new one, Olaf the Viking. Hey, having a break from the Lost Vikings game. Oh, great, my inventory stuff's arrived. Whoa! I'm so excited. Whoa, let's have a look. Hey. Oh, brilliant! My polystyrene bits. Yes, this one's for Andy, and this one's for Violet. No. This one's for Andy, and this one's for Violet. Yes.
Well, he's spent more on me than I intend to spend on him. Our main review this week is the one you've been waiting for, Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. It's the first console game to be developed on a supercomputer, and it shows. But does it have the personality to back up its stunning good looks? Here's Chris to tell us.
The incredible 3D quality of the main sprites puts all other game characters to shame. This is a game you won't want to put down. If you're playing as Donkey Kong, you'll find at the beginning of each level a barrel with Diddy Kong in it, and you can get them like this. If you've got both Kongs on the screen at once, you control one, and the other just follows. Now, both Kongs have different abilities. For example, Diddy Kong can run faster and jump higher than Donkey Kong, and you can swap between them like I'm doing now. The sound effects and music in this game are excellent. You won't really want to turn it off. A very common feature in this game are these barrels. It's quite difficult, and you have to be very precise with your timing. There's a 2-player option in the game. You can take it in turns to control a Kong each. It's a really good way for a younger player to learn, playing with a more experienced player. I played it with my little brother, and it worked really well. On each level you can find friends which you can hitch rides on. This is Winky the Frog. They're very easy to control. In fact, in general, the control system is very natural, and you'll get the hang of it very quickly. It's fun to play and gorgeous to look at. What more could you want from a platform game?
I thought I'd be disappointed by this because there's so much hype surrounding the game, but I love it.
This is a work of art. The gameplay is just your basic platform stuff, but it looks so good you just want to keep playing.
And the scores, Donkey Kong Country gets a Kong-sized 5 out of 5 from the boys and the girls. A well-deserved maximum score for Donkey Kong Country. The SNES was launched in the UK 2.5 years ago, but it's only now that games programmers are really using the machine's unique capabilities to the full. Now for a live report from Z Wright, who, as I speak, is 384,000 kilometers away on the surface of the moon.
It was just over 25 years ago that a man first stepped on the surface of the moon. Since that historic moment, only 11 other people have set foot on lunar dust. Why? Because it takes years to train an astronaut, and it costs billions of dollars to launch the manned spacecraft.
A safer and cheaper way to explore the moon and other planets is with remote-control rovers. These striking pictures of the Martian surface were sent back by the Viking 1 and 2 missions in the mid-70s.
But it's still not like really being there. You can only see what's directly in front of the camera, and even pictures from the moon, which is our closest neighbor, take about 5 seconds to arrive back at Earth.
For the operator, it's almost as difficult as driving a car wearing a blindfold. He has to ease forward very carefully and very slowly to avoid crashing into a crater or anything else. So down on Earth at NASA's Ames Research Center just outside San Francisco, researchers have been trying to combine the old remote control technology with the latest virtual reality ideas. They've called their new concept telepresence, and they've already tested it in some of the most difficult conditions they can find on this planet. This robotic submarine is exploring the bottom of an ice-covered Antarctic lake.
Basically what telepresence is it's an ability to project your senses into the robot. What I accomplished by doing that is having the cameras on the vehicle controlled by my head. I'm looking right, I'm looking left, and I'm seeing what's coming up through those cameras, displayed directly into the viewfinders in this helmet.
The latest test of the technology was the Dante project. Last July, a walking robot went down an active volcano in Alaska to explore the crater floor. As well as the telepresence cameras, the Dante robot had 6 other video cameras to provide the operators with all-round vision. There were 2 control rooms, one at the crater rim, one back at Ames, and of course, no time delay. But one of the goals of the project is to use telepresence to explore Mars, which is so far away that the images can take up to 40 minutes to travel back to Earth.
We compensate for time delay to some extent by using virtual reality techniques. We've got a model here of Dante. This is the 8-legged walking robot here in the terrain that it has sensed with its onboard sensors. Wherever the robot steps, it leaves a pad so we can see where it's walked. And then this brown terrain that you see around the robot is the physical terrain that it's in right now. I can use this computer-generated graphics to fly around in the scene and look at the robot as if I were there at the site, but it's independent of the time distance, the time delay between us and the robot.
Meanwhile, back on the moon,
The 12 people who visited the moon during the Apollo missions were all highly trained, very fit astronauts. They spent years preparing for it, and they braved great dangers to get there and back. Telepresence technology will open up the solar system to a whole range of people, scientists, explorers, and even tourists. There are already plans to put a buggy on the moon in 2 years and operated by Telepresence as a theme park attraction. Until then, this is the nearest I'm likely to get.
Just for a minute there, I really thought Z was on the surface of the moon. You can find out all you ever wanted to know about robots on a new CD-ROM that's just hit the shops called Isaac Asimov's The Ultimate Robot. Isaac Asimov was a famous science fiction author who wrote loads of stories about robots.
When I was 19, I started writing stories.
If you want to look at some of the robots that have been constructed for the movies, there's a section where you can look at clips from science fiction movies. Here we are, robots in the cinema. What should we take? Empire Strikes Back? Why not?
Don't say things like that. Of course we'll see Master Luke again.
I'm sure you will, but not today. There's also an interactive section called the Robotoid Assembly Toolkit, where you can build your own robot. Reminds me of the Ministry of Funny Walks.
A robot may not injure a human being.
Well, I'm afraid we'll have to leave my android friend there reciting the 3 laws of robotics, because now it's time for this week's News and Preview.